we will preview the second transitivity of the past participle applied in the clause stated in the perfect tense. We can wonder about the object, the listeners, indicated by the personal pronoun you, of the past participle graded that describes the speaker as the subject indirectly. Because the form of the past participle graded is suitable to describe the object in the subject-object relationship between the period and the speaker as the subject. But the listeners as the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb graded, that is the form as a verb, of the past participle graded. So we can understand that the listeners as the objects receive the definition of the transitive verb graded during the period when the experience of the subject, the speaker as the subject, actualized and actualizes. This can be understood with the trait of the transitive verb graded with the first and second transitivity. The first transitivity of the transitive verb graded is revealed with the form as the past participle to describe the speaker as the subject via the intransitive verb have. The intransitive verb have describes the speaker as the subject, and the past participle graded specifies the definition of the intransitive verb have, so we can understand that the past participle graded describes the speaker as the subject in the indirect way. To describe the speaker as the subject in the indirect way, the first transitivity is revealed in the form of the past participle, and the second transitivity is revealed to convey the definition of the transitive verb graded to the object, the listeners. About the clause stated in the perfect tense with an intransitive verb, the intransitive verb also reveals the first transitivity with the form of the past participle to describe the subject as the object in the subject-object relationship between the period and the subject. However, the definition of the past participle from the intransitive verb is not conveyed to the object with the second transitivity of the definition. The object, which is had by the speaker to declare the completion of the experience at the present, does not exist because the verb have is intransitive verb. We can understand that the speaker describes how the experience is when the speaker states a clause about the experience of the subject, because the past participle specifies the definition of the intransitive verb have. the specification of the adverb is understood as a way to reveal the detailed procedure of the experience. Instead, the adverb created describes how the period is because the experience is stated with the period as a result of time passing by on the premise that the speaker exists. The speaker could state the clause to describe the experience of the subject in a way that the experience actualized or actualizes at a point in time. The speaker emphasizes that the experience lasts during a period in the clause stated in the perfect tense. The application of the past participle as an adverb to clarify the intent of the speaker reveals the emphasizing intent of the speaker. The relationship between the period for the experience and the subject to be in the experience is possible when the speaker exists during the period. So the existence of the subject during the period is the premise.